Hello and a very warm welcome to Rise and Thrive. This is Lady Dee, and I want to welcome you to another beautiful Saturday where we bring another episode of Rise and Thrive. Please do share the broadcast and invite someone and let them know Rise and Thrive is here. Can you believe? I was just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, it's already the last Saturday of February, and that means 2 months gone in a year. And we thank God for His goodness, for leading us this far and being faithful to us in keeping us alive and making sure that He constantly reminds us how special we are to Him and how that He has a purpose for each one of us. Here on Rise and Thrive, it's my delight to bring wisdom that will help you become a better version of yourself as you increase in wisdom, as you increase in every area of your life, and in turn become a blessing to this generation as you fulfill your God-given purpose. So today I come to just reiterate on our theme for this month. February, we have dubbed this month as our month of great increase, and we have based it on the scripture as we find it in Job chapter 8 and verse 7, which says, though your beginning was insignificant, yet your end will increase greatly. So it doesn't matter, beloved, how you have started. It doesn't matter when you started. It matters how you finish, and your latter end shall greatly increase, the Bible says. So this is why today I have come to you with a topic that I feel is very important, and I do struggle with that myself once in a while. And so it's something that we want to kind of hone in together. So I will be talking to you about focus. How can you focus more on the things that matter in your life? How can you train yourself to position yourself in a way that you do not easily get distracted? If you decide that you're going to change something about your life, there's a lot of commitment that goes in there. First of all, you make the decision that you're going to change a few things in your life. If you're going to achieve more, you're going to make sure that you wake up earlier. So that's a change that you make. So when we decide to make a change, we must understand that it will cost us something. Change is not easy. I want to start from there. Change is not easy, and this is why most people would rather remain the way they are. They will dream, yes. They will plan, yes. They will talk about what they want to do. They will keep talking about the vision, what it will look like when it's all done, who's going to get involved, what are they going to do. When one fails to add action to all those plans, then they're bound to fail. Nothing is going to happen. So we must understand that in the scheme of things, as we're trying to achieve great increase in our lives, we need to know that it will come with change, and change is not easy, and that's why we need discipline. And so I am going to touch on the aspect of focus, because I know that failing to follow through with things that we say we will do happens when we get distracted. So the first thing that you need to do in order to focus is to question the essence of your commitment. Always question why you are doing something. I am wired like that. Naturally, I am a person that will ask questions. In class, when you are sitting in a lecture, you're sitting in a lesson. When you don't understand something, you put up your hand and you would wait for the teacher to give you that opportunity, that green light to say you can ask your question. And you ask your question and the teacher answers. That's how you learn and grow. Number two, be fiercely, and I use this word without reservation, be fiercely selective about where your time goes. Be selective. Be selective. Allocate your time. Your time is precious. I always say, when you give time to people, you are giving them a part of your life, because that's a part of your life that you will never get back. And because it is said that You can count the amount of money left in your bank, but you can never count the amount of time that you have left. So time is really precious. And when people give you their time, value it, use it wisely. In the same way, when you are the one giving the time, be sure your time is going to things that matter. Allocate time. Have a hierarchy of where your time is going to go. Your 8 hours of work, are you going to divide it between writing reports, answering emails, seeing customers, looking at your accounts and doing some banking, whatever it is that you're doing, there has to be some structure of how you allocate your time. Now, I'm not saying go rigid, and when you even get to a point of being obsessive compulsive where you set alarms for anything. I know people who have like a lot of alarms. They have an alarm to wake up, an alarm to start showering, an alarm to finish showering. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I am talking about being reasonable with the way you allocate your time. And you will only know where your time goes if you allocate it and see where you are actually overusing time that you shouldn't be using in that particular aspect of your life. So be fierce about checking out, where is my time going? The other time I was so shocked. My phone has this feature that gives you a report, and I'm sure most phones have this. It gives you a report of how much time you've spent on Facebook, Instagram. Uh, I'm not on TikTok, so it gives you all these social medias that you have and how much time you've spent in the week. It's shocking how you can easily just lose time on social media. And since I started looking at that, I have learned to regulate myself. I'll come on for 5 minutes to answer questions or to interact with my followers, and then I disappear. I go and do something else. And so you might think I'm constantly on social media. Of course, my Wi Fi is always on, but I have sections of my time that I use to actually interact with my um, followers and friends on Facebook. Now, social media is great. Google is great. Media in itself is great because that's how we gain knowledge. Of course, you have to filter it through a lot of filters. But knowledge is out there and it's good to research. And we use these things to gain knowledge, sometimes for entertainment. I'll go on social media and all I'm watching is pranks and these reels that are funny. If you hear me laughing in my room, you'd think I'm laughing with someone. But you come to a point where you say, okay, it's been 15 minutes of scrolling. I need to do something that is going to be constructive and add to something that's more valuable to me. So it's all about being aware and being fierce about allocating and monitoring your time. I think I've said enough on that one. And last but not the least, honor your time on this earth. When you look at your lifetime here on earth, how are you strategically using your life to fulfill God's purpose according to the way He designed it for you? What are the things that you are doing and that you've been doing maybe for years that are not even part of the plan of God for your life? Pause and think about it. What if you've come this far and you are doing what God has not called you to do? It is important, beloved, to really, really zero in, narrow in our focus onto the very thing that God created you to do here on earth. Find out what God has called you to do. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing a replication of someone that I've just seen doing this? Or is this what I know at the core of my being that I'm called to do? Ask yourself those important questions, and that will help you focus on what is important. So, how do you honor your time here on earth? Ask yourself, what is the one thing that I want to be remembered for when I'm long gone? What is that one thing that I want to be remembered for? Once you start thinking in those lines, you will bring your heart and your mind and your spirit into alignment with what God is saying you should be doing. Sometimes you will find that God will begin to shift your direction, or God is going to change your positioning, or God is going to deal with you internally and structure you in a way that will begin to align with what He's called you to do. And to the outside world, it will look like chaos. It will look like you have changed, or you are dropping the ball. You are not the person that we know you to be. You're not the person that you used to be. But there is something, beloved, that happens when God arrests your inner man, your spirit man, and begins to pound on that area that you have structured differently from what He has intended for you to be. So, in the bigger scheme of things, honor your time here on earth. How do you want to be remembered? What is that one thing I'm going to do today? That I will come back home and rest my head on my pillow and say, yes, I did that, and it has accounted for this and this that is going to add to the greater scheme of things in my life. So, beloved, I want you to understand that it's not about cutting off things, but about what you're going to replace those things with. And what you replace those things with, ask yourself again, is it going to help me become the person that God has called me to be? Is it going to help me achieve greater things in my area of calling? You can never fulfill purpose without focus, because we live in a society that demands our attention constantly. And if we are not careful with our focus, to focus on things that really matter, beloved, we are going to be derailed. And sooner than later, we will lose the essence of why we are here on earth. Make sure that whatever you plan to do, it is aligned with what God has called you to be and to do at the core of your being. Because you can take off doing things that you're not called to do, and no one will receive a reward for doing what God has not called them to do. So be aligned with God's purpose. But after you align yourself, focus and eliminate the things that don't add value to what you are here to do, and embrace those things with great discipline that will add to where God is taking you. So I will end here for today, and I hope this has been helpful to someone. Stay blessed, and I will see you in March. God bless.